he never gets to say, I love you to the beautiful girl. The teenager stammers, looking for new words to create a new reality for his generation, trying to speak his own vision for his own time, in broken words, a breakaway from the past. In the Bible, Moses stuttered when he saw the bush rise into flame. And he said, my God, who are you? And again, before Pharaoh, as he saw his staff turn into serpent, let my people go. With this stutter, astonished, he turned slavery into freedom. The poet continuously stutters, never knowing what words are going to come next from mouth or pen. The miraculous stutter, transforming vision into sound, feelings into words, voice into language. Thank you. This next poem is one that I wrote in Kathmandu. I was with a Nepali poet named Manjul, and Manjul is a great inspiration for writing because he'll just say, wherever he'll suddenly stop and say, okay, let's write. And so he left me alone on his rooftop one afternoon and said, okay, write a poem. And this is what came out, standing on a rooftop in the middle of Kathmandu. On the rooftop, in the center of the city, in the center of the valley, surrounded by mountains and the far-off, invisible Himalayas. Standing on the rooftop above the winding stair, I see in all four directions the rising and crumbling buildings, the smoky haze over the highway, the 5 colored prayer flags swaying in the wind. The piles of broken wood and corrugated iron. And above it all, eternally, the curves of the stony hills, the sun setting behind them with endless light and endless sky. Beautiful. One thing about the music you might not realize is we're all just making this up as we go along. Terrific improvisation.
Damn good.
Yeah.
It's jazz.
Yeah.
Hey, can I ask a question? Keith, did you improvise the stutter talk? Really? You're a damn
In
genius.
music we call it wrong notes. Jazz.
Yeah.
Or those who don't know it.
Yeah.
Play.
Hey, I'm wearing shades.
Yeah, I also have a poetry music. I also have a poetry music CD. I did the three musicians who also are mostly improvising. This next poem is called "The Temple of the Emerald Buddha," and it's like little scenes or snapshots of Wat Pat Keo. A toothless shaman grins at you as you enter this holy place. Young boy takes gold leaf off Buddha statue, puts it on his own face. The man in the mirror is losing his hair. Pretty soon, he'll be gone too. The Emerald Buddha is really made of jade. It doesn't matter to the Buddha. The Buddhas in Bangkok are all smiling. Still, you say, life is suffering. The Buddhas in Bangkok are all smiling. And still, you say, life is suffering. Teenage girls with a tape recorder asked to interview me for their English class. One of them asks me, "Why are you here?" That one stopped me in my tracks. One of them asked me, "Why are you here?" Sitting in the presence of the Buddha, I forget the four vows. "12 summers ago, I first visited this temple. Someone else. The Buddha holds his arms outstretched to stop the sea. A small boy enters the temple, sees the Buddha, calls out, "Hello." 12 years ago, I first saw myself in this mirror, looking at the green emerald Buddha, looking at me. Thanks so much to the musicians. And I'd like to read 2 poems without any music. This next one needs a little introduction. It's called Empty Spaces. Some of you know who Bodhidharma was. He was the one who brought meditation Zen from India to China. And he was asked to meet with the Emperor of China. And the Emperor asked him, what is the first principle of Buddhism? And Bodhidharma replied, vast emptiness, nothing holy. And a friend of mine told me that vast emptiness is sometimes translated as empty space. And so I thought, gee, that's a nice phrase for a poem. So I wrote a poem called Empty Spaces. This is the beginning of a new notebook. The pages are filled with empty spaces. My future is also filled with empty space. Vast emptiness, nothing holy. There are empty spaces everywhere, between the leaves of the Bodhi tree, between grains of sand on the beach, between the waves pounding the surf, between the seconds ticking away. My life is emptiness. Movement from one home to the next, from one love to another, from one word through an empty space to the next word that comes of itself out of that empty space. I fill the empty spaces in my heart with new words, new images, to fill the darkness and make it visible again. I fill the empty